In this video tutorial, we will bring to you a brief description of the commands available in the Mesher tab of the ribbon bar in CF Mesh Pro, and how to use the command line editor. In general, the ribbon bar commands are essentially invocations of various standalone utility programs that perform their specific tasks. The necessary input for those programs to run is handed over to them as arguments via their respective ribbon bar command interface. Alternatively, one can invoke the same utilities also from the command line editor if specifying the correct command arguments where those are needed. First, there is a utility to convert to FMS format and import into the project the surface mesh data represented in other standard formats, STL, VTK, and other. The list of supported formats can be seen in the Open File dialog box. Once the surface mesh is imported to the project, the ribbon bar commands within the Surface Tools group become enabled and available for use on the imported surface mesh object. The first among those surface utilities is the Check Surface utility. It performs the necessary quality checks on the imported surface mesh. Then, there is the Scaling utility, which allows for linear transformation of the current surface mesh object by a prescribed scaling factor. Finally, some parts of the surface mesh can be removed from the object by using the Remove Parts utility, or some parts can be copied to a new surface mesh object by using the Copy Parts utility. In order to start the meshing procedure, one needs to define at least the master settings in the settings tree related to meshing. We will demonstrate that in our Flange 2 case in the demo project. We will see that the flange surface mesh has been already selected and that the maximum cell size has been set to value 0.0008. We will leave those values as is, and we will start the meshing process. To start the meshing process, one needs to select one of the 4 meshing workflows in the Start command. These are the Cartesian, Cartesian 2D, tetrahedral, and polyhedral. The Cartesian mesher is a 3D mesher within CF Mesh Pro that we will use in most of the situations. It generates volume meshes with predominantly hexahedral cells, which is a desired feature for most of the CFD solvers. The Cartesian 2D is the 2D mesher available within CF Mesh Pro, and it can be used in meshing only the 2D geometries. The tetrahedral is the 3D mesher, which generates volume meshes with tetrahedral cells, while the polyhedral is the 3D mesher, which generates volume meshes with polyhedral cells. In our case, we will start the Cartesian meshing procedure. You can monitor the progress of the meshing process within the Meshing Output tab in the main viewer. Once the meshing process is successfully finished means that the volume mesh has been generated and that you can load it to the project. We will do so. You can check the quality of the generated volume mesh by calling the Check Mesh utility command from the ribbon bar. We see that the newly generated volume mesh passed the quality checks and is OK. There are 2 additional commands available within the Mesh tools in the ribbon. These are the Improve Mesh Quality utility and the Improve Symmetry Planes utility. As their respective names suggest, and in case needed, they are used to improve the quality of the generated volume meshes and also to improve the symmetry planes. In our case, the volume mesh is already OK as it passed the quality checks, and there is no need to use the Improve Mesh Quality utility. Similarly, as in our case, there are also no patches that are symmetry planes. There is no need to use the Improve Symmetry Planes utility neither. Finally, there is a ribbon command to export the generated volume mesh to the Fluent format. This is a useful option for those users who are fluent in their CFD simulations and wish to use the volume mesh generated in CF Mesh Pro in those simulations.